Did you know that the English are actually a marginalised community? Hi, my name's Artie, they're in pronouns only. And I noticed something. Okay, I noticed a thing. I noticed I noticed in American medical dramas they kind of treat the English and Australians as kind of like an extension of marginalised communities that they need to represent in their shows. Because it seems to be there's always one, and it's always one or the other, English or Australian, never both, as far as I've come across anyway. So I wanted to talk about that. I just think it's really funny because we are being treated as like a marginalized identity. It feels like some kind of like diversity tick box, if you will. And considering England's history, I just think this is a very amusing thing that I have noticed. Why is there always one English person in American medical dramas? I don't know. I would love it if someone told me. English and Australian, they're basically the same thing in these shows. Like I said, it's always one or the other, never both. But they're kind of treated exactly the same way. And to be honest, most Americans don't seem to know the difference between the accents anyway, or at least not until more recent years, thanks to things like Married at First Sight. Because, I've talked about this before. I made its own video where, the reasons why people watch crime dramas and medical dramas. And one of the main things that I personally brought up was that it's because they have better representation than most other TV shows. And then also, additionally, there's like nothing else on television. So, on that point, there's always a reasonably broad selection of marginalized people in medical shows. They usually try and get one of everything, and then occasionally they'll have a few more of one thing in particular. Like I was about to say I've just started watching Pulse. I'm nearly finished watching Pulse. And for example, Pulse definitely has a large amount of Hispanic people on the show, Latinos on the show, whereas like Grey's Anatomy, for example, is a lot more Black people. So I'm going to go through some of the shorter series and sort of talk about that selection of marginalizations and discussing the British in the room, the Englishman in the room. It is not always a white cishet man. There is still some other diversity within the English slash Australian sphere of things, I suppose. So, like I said, Pulse is one that I've nearly finished watching recently. It centers a white lady. That's the other thing. I feel like a lot of these shows always center like a white man or woman anyway, and everybody else is sure. They do get a lot more development in the show eventually, but they are still generally seen as supporting casts. So Pulse centers a white lady, and to be honest, a white man as well, because it's kind of around a vague harassment complaint. They have like a few Latino and Hispanic people, like I said, because it's based in Miami. Disabled woman. We've got a wheelchair user, folks. We've got a wheelchair user in the room. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell, mate. And I'm waiting for the gay or the tran in the room. However, I'm putting bets on it being the Asian lady and her Hispanic femme bestie, because they are really gay. And that, after all that, we just have some fucking white guy. Some fucking English white guy. He came over to America as a teenager because his father, for some it makes no sense to me. His father had some kind of job where he was selling things, houses. I don't remember. Oh, he was a banker. That was it. So the stock market crashed, and then they all became really poor. But of course, he still talks like kind of a poncy Englishman. And this is basically the show that made me think about it more, because I was like, wait. wait a second. So I will try to go through the list that I've already watched before. So like I made a video a while ago ranking the ones I've seen so far. I don't think all of them have an English person or an Australian. Got to keep that in mind too. But I think most of them do. And I just thought it was a funny choice. Funny choice. I also won't be mentioning any actually English shows, because there's a few on here, obviously, that were English shows. I'm specifically talking about American medical dramas, and also mostly ones that haven't been going on for 20 odd seasons, because those ones are definitely going to have an English person in it somewhere, but mainly I'm looking for the ones where there was actually more of a long-term featured English character that kind of is just a bit random and out of nowhere. New Amsterdam does have an English person from the start. This show also centers a white man, a cishet white man. I love him. Look, don't get me wrong. Max Goodwin, Goodall, whatever the fuck his name is. I love that man so much. I love that socialist man until I die. He's still a cishet white man. But from the beginning, we did have the English person is a black woman this time. Goodness gracious. Layering the representation, intersectionality. Call the police. I don't know. Call the police. And she is also in the show for the most part, all the way through. There are some parts where she's not in it as much at the end and does leave the show. They do also completely destroy her character to get rid of her. That sucked a lot because her character was pretty cool, then stopped being cool, was just really aggravating and selfish all the time. Character assassination, literally. I wish there was a better way. Oh, does this work? I didn't know that was there. Ranking, because it's been nearly a year since I did this video. Yes. Oh, that's amazing. That's the best thing I've seen in my life. So I think my first one is Station 19. And off the top of my head, there isn't a reoccurring English guy for a while. But I'm pretty sure there is one. I think he's bisexual as well. If I remember his name, was Elijah. Station 19 English. And it's an actual Englishman. That's the other thing too. They might be playing English, but are they actually English a lot of the time? No. Or Australian. So this one was, I actually quite liked this because it was, I don't think he was a surprise buy, not to himself anyway. He was a surprise buy to the plot, but he has kind of a thing with Andy, who is a Hispanic woman who the show is mainly about. Again, wow, this one's a bit of a shocker. The show is mainly around a Latino woman instead of a cishet white guy. So they were kind of like maybe going to date. Can't remember if they slept together or not. But in the end, he hooks up with Travis, our beautiful freckled Asian gay guy. I love him so much. I miss that show. I miss that show so much. And he was Travis's campaign manager when he was trying to become mayor. Yeah. I'm glad that we started off on a spicy note there. The next one is House. Obviously, House has got Chase. Australian through and through. We've got an Australian man playing the character as well. However, the man is not good, not a great person. But also neither was his character. He was well known as the aggressively fat-phobic child kisser. He's probably the most annoying character on House. Like, I would put money down. I would die on that hill. I hate him. I don't think many people like him. So that's House MD. Heart of Dixie. Did that have an English person in? I don't think that there is. Right, so this show as well in particular is not a particularly traditional medical show, but it is sort of based around cishet white lady who is trying to become a cardiac surgeon but ends up being forced to go and like do some GP work for a while in Alabama, where her biological father that she never knew is already dead, but he left it to her. So the English person is called Oliver, and he is a dashing and elegant man whose British accent makes all the ladies of Bluebell swoon. But Oliver isn't who he appears to be. Oh yeah, because he's not actually English. So that one's a surprise, not English. He has foreign accent syndrome. So he's not actually English. I feel like there was another one, but that's very funny. I really did not think that was going to give me anything. Give me nothing. The Dropout had one too. So again, a bit out of the box as a medical drama because it's based on a real story. It is the lady who basically fraudulently, she committed fraud. She scammed people out of so much money under the guise of creating a super amazing blood test machine where instead of having to get, ironically, vials of blood taken out of your veins, you just had to like clip a little bit onto the testing thing, and that was going to be enough to find out if you were super ill or not. And yeah, her long-term partner, I believe he was Indian. Let me double check. Sunny was played by Naveen Andrews, who's also born in London, so another Englishman, another Brit. And yeah, the actor was also actually Indian too. So, because you know what casting is a bit like, they're like, wow, here's some Asian people, that'll do. Where are they from? I don't care. So yeah, he is English. He's quite a bit older than her. Definitely a weird scenario, but then also she was not a good person. He did not help that though. Also in iZombie, another non-traditional medical drama. It was Raul. What's his name? Raul Kohli. And he played Ravi or Ravi. I don't know. Ravi. Another South Asian English character. This happens quite a lot as well, to be fair. It is often a lot of, if it's not a cishet white guy, it is often a South Asian man. There's another show I'm watching at the moment in the first season was another South Asian man. Do I look for who was the English person in Grey's Anatomy? Jo Wilson is an English actress? What the fuck? That feels so weird. There was one quite a long time ago, Sadie Harris. I don't remember much about her. I think she was Meredith's friend and just loved to cause drama, basically. But I do vaguely remember white lady this time, but show, you know, Grey's Anatomy obviously based around white lady. Virgin River also based around white lady. Oh, can't spell. I don't think there is one in Virgin River. No, nothing comes up because it's like it's a small town, Californian small town kind of vibe. So that does not particularly surprise me. The cleaning lady, I'm pretty sure that had the same English guy as the Dropout. So I think I recognized him and I was like, oh, he was in something I saw. Did the show finally stop airing after like one of the main characters' actors died? He was friends with Nadia, or they used to date. That's somebody else. It is him. Robert Camdar, basically a mob boss kind of guy. Defrauding left, right, and center. The cleaning lady was basically, again, more of a crime drama, but the main character is this woman who originally was from, I think, the Philippines, and I was not watching that final season after Arman and his character was dead. But yeah, she is in America illegally. I don't really believe in that, but so she was a heart surgeon in the Philippines, now has to be a cleaning lady, and she ends up accidentally watching somebody committing crimes and ends up working for them as their cleaning lady, and she would clean up crime scenes for lots of money. Was there one in private practice? No, there was supposedly not one in private practice. The only one left in this video that is American is Fire Country, and I don't think, no, not one in that. Let's see, is there anything else I have watched recently? I think that's it for what's on here. One of the other ones that I know I've watched recently, slash I'm still in progress of watching, is Code Black. And yeah, like I said, in season 1 of Code Black, there was just some random doctor called Neil Hudson, played by Raza Jaffrey. He was the token English guy, and he is as well South Asian. Interestingly enough, born in Liverpool, but he's got he sounded very similar to the guy in Dawson's Creek, the director. They have a very similar sounding voice, both accent and just generally quality. So that is another one. I also watched The Resident, not to be confused by The Residents that I talked about in my camp crime drama video. But The Resident, I don't know. I don't know if anyone was English in this. Yes, there was. It's Kit. It's a white lady. Yes, Kit. So The Resident again centers a white cishet guy who, man, I also love him so much. Conrad, I fucking love him. Can't help myself. I mean Conrad and what was the other main guy's name? Again, it's been a few months since I have watched this show because I mean there is another season coming, like there is another season for New Amsterdam, but I don't know who they are following. I think New Amsterdam's following Max's daughter when she grows up. I'm not particularly interested, I'm not gonna fucking lie. But this one, I don't know what they are doing with their returning season. But yeah, so we have Conrad, who's the like kind of main guy, but we also have a really heavy, very close second main character of Devon Pravesh. But our English character is Kit Voss. She is an older woman, probably in her like 60s, I think. And she is an orthopedic surgeon, which is also just very funny because she's such like a beautiful, slim, dainty lady with this very posh, pristine British accent. And she's just chopping up bones and drilling bones and pickaxing bones. She's very funny. She becomes the director at one point. Yeah, I really liked that show. And it's another show that I'm really sad about having finished. But I don't know. I want to watch The Return because what the fuck is it about? Is it going to be his daughter in the future becoming a nurse or a doctor? I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Take it back. I don't know what else I've been watching. I still don't have access to The Pit. I heard the controversy about masking. I still haven't had access to The Pit. So can't even watch it. Oh, The Resident is really high up on this list. I've not watched The Good Doctor. I was considering watching Dying for Sex. I used to watch Scrubs. Why is girl interrupted on here? That is not a medical drama. That is a mental illness drama. I know they're in a hospital. It's a mental illness drama. This is an emergency. I do have Body of Proof on my list to watch. Yeah, it was also Code Black that made me realise this because I was laughing so much. I knew I'd forgotten at least one. So the one that I had forgotten that I remember now is Dr. Odyssey as well. There's sort of like three main medical staff, again centering cishet white man, but also a man I love so much because it's Joshua Jackson, my Pacey. But one of his nurses is an English guy. So he plays Nurse Tristan Silva, I think, played by Sean Teal, who was in Skins. And actually, they actually did a reasonably decent job with casting him because his character in that show is mixed Venezuelan. And actually, the actor is of Venezuelan, Spanish, and Welsh descent. So I'm actually mildly impressed with some of these casting choices. But yeah, so he's in it the whole way through. We love our English token man. Like, this would be a lot more impressive if I'd actually watched more medical dramas than I keep thinking I have watched. I guess as well, these are all specifically American, so there's quite a few I can't include on the list. But I just thought it was funny. So here's a task for you guys watching the video. Any of the shows I've mentioned, tell me if there's people I've missed who are either Australian or English. The characters themselves specifically, because a lot of the time there are English or Australian actors on shows like this, but they are playing Americans. So let me know. Let me know who's pretending to be English or Australian. But also, for the shows I haven't watched, only American medical dramas, I keep wanting to say crime dramas. Only American medical dramas. Fuck hell. What ones have I not mentioned? Who are the characters who are either Australian or English? Because I want to see. I want to know. Or as well for maybe some of the shows that I did a quick Google search for and said there isn't one. Am I wrong? Tell me. Am I wrong? Because part of this is me just being like, wait, is this actually a thing in American medical dramas where they always have to have an English or an Australian? It just, it feels like a tick box on the diversity list. It just seems really strange, especially when they, like, I think the reason why I find it so funny is because it seems to be a very consistent thing that happens across shows, even long-standing shows, but they can't get in. A lot of these shows can't find like a trans person, or they can't give a trans person a more central role, or a disabled person a more central role. A lot of the disabilities I see otherwise in these shows are mental illness, neurodivergence, because in which one was it, New Amsterdam, one of the leading doctors has ADHD, but she also has addiction, so she abuses her own fucking ADHD medication, which that plotline kind of pissed me off. I know it probably does happen, but also I feel like mostly neurotypical people abuse ADHD meds more than ADHDers do, because I can't remember. Honestly, I'm only 6 months off my ADHD meds. I've been starting to actually forget to take my general meds like in the morning. I've missed them like 3 to 4 times in recent months. I've been taking pills every day for 10 years or more, because I started taking a pill every day when I was 15 and I am 30. So 15 years. And now I've actually started forgetting because I'm not on my ADHD medication and I keep thinking I've taken them, but I haven't. I just wanted to go through this really quickly. Just thought it was a really curious pattern that they can always squeeze in an English person, even if it is sort of plastered on top of like their other tick boxes. But they can always fit in an Englishman or an Australian. Sorry, guys. I know. Sorry. I also couldn't find many with Australians in. I thought there were more. I was pretty sure there's always like either an Australian or an English person. So yeah, guys, find me some more Australians. I thought there was more. I mainly went with the English person thing because of House in particular. I don't think he has like a random English person in that show. The English person is House because he's actually English, the actor. So no, see, that's what I mean. I'm joking about that. So yeah, give me your answers in the comment section. Also, let me know if those shows are any good, so I know whether to prioritize watching them or not. Thanks. But that's it for me this week. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to go and watch another one of my videos to support the channel. You know what? Go watch the ranking video. Let me know what you think of the shows that I've already watched and what you think of what I think of them. Yeah, that's it from me this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.